or lease from...
What's up, YouTube? Today, I'm doing another top 6 list. This one was suggested right after my top 6 for my favorite rappers from back in the day. Since it came up on my live stream, this also came up. So this is my top 6 kick-ass metal songs from back in the 80s. Now, I had a little bit different criteria for this. I did write 1 through 6, as I always do, but I had to make a conscious decision only to choose one song from each band on the list. 4, 3, and 1 will explain why I had to make that. I'll explain why I had to make that rule. But these songs, I still rock these songs to this day. I crank them up. I love, love, love them. But these get me amped up, ready to go all the time. To listen to all 6 of these in a row is not a good idea while I'm driving. Anyways, back to my list. So, coming in at 6, it's Electric Eye by Judas Priest off the Screaming for Vengeance album. We had just come back from Germany, and I think You Got Another Thing Coming had just been released. I remember seeing the video on MTV. When I bought the album, and it's actually Hellion and Electric Eye, I was just hooked. I love this song. Almost the entire album is just phenomenal to me. But Electric Eye, I love everything about that song. There is nothing I would change about it. Whew. Number 5, I was living in Bamberg, Germany, went to Sight and Sounds. That's where we would go buy music on Post. Off Post, I go to Top Pop Shop. There's a few blocks off of Post. I know, you don't care, but I decided to throw that in there just in case anybody from Bamberg, Germany's watching. But it's Motorhead and the Ace of Spades. Man, I was blown away. I also love We Are the Road Crew, but the Ace of Spades, to this day, there's no telling how many thousands of times I've heard that song. But as soon as I hear na-na-na-na-na-na, I'm ready to go. Like I said, all 6 of these songs on here, they just get me amped up and ready to go. Number 5, from the band that was formerly my all-time favorite band, it's Motley Crue and Kickstart My Heart. From the opening, I love, love, love that song. Same Old Situation is actually my favorite song off the album, but Kickstart My Heart gets me amped up, ready to go. Same Old Situation, I rock out to and have a good time. But yeah, so I mean, technically, I could have. I said 4 would be that. It's that close with Same Old Situation and Kickstart My Heart, but Kickstart My Heart gets me amped up, and that's what I tried to do with all 6 songs on here, are songs that just get me going. So yeah, I'll stick with that. Number 3, I guess it's the same scenario. Number 3 is Metallica and Master of Puppets. Now, with this album, Sanitarium is my favorite song, but Battery, Master of Puppets, man, that's 2 videos in a row. I have to bleep that. Anyways, that album is probably, to me, their best album, even though the Black Album, biggest selling album. Master of Puppets, that song just, every single time from the very first bump, I'm ready to go. Whew. Number 2 is a song that I use part of this song as my intro for stand-up. It's Accept and Fast as a Shark. That song, good God, from the very beginning, I mean, it starts with a little, it's silly music, and then when you hear that needle drag across the record, and that scream, and them guitars kick in. Man, that song, you don't have to bang your head. You can just sit there and get out of breath, or I can anyways. Except everybody knows Balls to the Wall, but they're such a kick-ass band, and they should have been much bigger than they were. Yes, they've got a good following. I just think they should have been a much bigger band than they are. Now, my number one, I actually have 3 songs off this album tied for number 1. But, like I said, when I write 1 through 6, the first 3 songs that came to mind in order were I Want to Be Somebody, The Torture Never Stops, and Hellion. So I'm talking about the first Wasp album. But I Want to Be Somebody was my mantra from, 17 years old? I think I just turned 18. But all 3 of those songs, they just, and I know my wife hated it the other day when I was getting videos prepared, getting them all queued up and getting all my programs open and stuff for recording. I listened to music to get amped up. So I was listening to the demos of those 3 songs. And even though I hadn't heard them in a while, I verbatim got all the words. But I could only pick one, and I Want to Be Somebody was the very first song that came to mind. Because even though, The Torture Never Stops and Hellion are both harder hitting songs, I Want to Be Somebody, that message in it, just, shit, I'm kind of amped up, and I didn't even play any of the songs. It's just talking about them. But, whew, if you haven't heard any of these songs, you need to go look them up. Anyways, if you have a suggestion for a top 6 list, either drop it in the comments below or come check me out on my live stream. We do it every Thursday from 2 to 4 Central Standard Time. No assholes allowed. I've got a great community built. We kick haters out, block them immediately. We have great conversations. We talk about everything: music, comedy, movies, commercials, cartoons, old school TV shows, all sorts of stuff. It's always a good time. So if you're a cool person, come hang out with us. Check it out. Regardless if you do or don't, I appreciate each and every one of you that take the time to come here and watch my videos and have been for 3+ years now. I hope you have a great day. Make someone laugh if you get the chance. Don't forget to tell your friends and family each and every time you leave that you love them. You just never know, and that's going to be the last chance you get to tell them. Be safe, y'all. We are living in some crazy ass times. Till next time, I am Bob Sixx. Peace.
Or lease.